All right. I think it's time to start. If you guys want to keep talking,
No.
more than welcome to.
I was actually talking to him, just waiting for you.
Okay. That's very nice. Thank you. All right. So Camille has asked me to show VMS IDE, and I haven't used VMS IDE for about 7 months because that was for the job that I had before this job. But so I spent some time trying to remember what I did there and what it looked like. But I don't have any slides. I will just show you a demo. So to start with, what is VMS IDE? VMS IDE is a plugin for Visual Studio Code, which is an IDE, which is a development environment which works on Windows and Linux. And this is approximately what it looks like. So it's used to, actually, how many people have worked with Visual Studio Code? So I don't tell you what you already know. Okay. So many of you already know this stuff, but nevertheless, this is what VMS IDE looks like. Or this is what Visual Studio Code looks like, rather. So you have your files that you're working on over here, right? You have your syntax highlighting. You can make any changes. And what VMS IDE specifically does is it uploads your files and all of your changes to a VMS system that you specify. So what I'm showing here is a settings file, and you can see that you can specify a host name. It can be username, password. It can be a key file, then the directory that you want to upload the files to. And then you just work with the IDE. And the only thing that you need to do here, as opposed to, setting this up on Linux and just working with Linux or Windows, would be to upload files to a VMS system, which can be bound to a key, or in some cases, it can be done automatically. So all of the changes that you make on VMS IDE will appear on your VMS system automatically. So, so let's see. I have a VMS system connected to this right now, and I can upload files. I don't think I've changed a whole lot here, but basically, if I bring up the VMS system here and remember which one this is, oh, I gotta log in again. Right, so actually, I'm just gonna change the settings a little bit so I can actually see what I'm typing here. Nice. Okay. Right. So these are all the files that it uploads to VMS. And if you want, you can run and build things on VMS. Or if you want, you can just build them in VMS IDE and see them there. So for example, here's a Python. Oh, there. All right. Because you gotta do this. Okay. No. Okay.
No, I'm being just.
Does that? Yeah, that works. Oh, right. You were right. Sorry. No. No, I don't know. So okay, let's like debug this as always. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so you can do this, or you can also run this here and debug this here. That also works. Now, one of the useful things here, which is another extension, is the DCL syntax highlighting, which I really like, and it also has a few other neat features, like it would do this, or it would pre-fill lines for you with dollar signs, you know, neat stuff like this. But that's what Visual Studio Code can do for DCL. This is not what we made at VSI. Right, so basically, when you're working on the project, this is what it can look like. You're making some changes to your code. So you have this here, for example, and I can go ahead and this is Python. I can go ahead and debug it right in VMS IDE.
A chair?
I'm already. I'm sorry.
You want a chair?
A chair?
You sit one?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah. I'm actually already debugging this, so let's try this again. Right, so you can see what we're doing here, and you can do everything that you can expect to do. So you can step, and you can see the variables in there. So no variables at the moment. Do another one. You can see that I got assigned to 0, and you can also see the call stack here. I mean, this is not very much code, so you can't really see very much here, but you know, this is how you work on your projects basically. And this is the Python debugger, and Python is of course a scripted language, so you don't need to compile and link. You just sort of run this. But if you're working with C, for example, then you need to build it first, and you don't need to build it to go to VMS and build it on VMS. You can just build it directly from here. So I have a little piece of C code here, and I can just upload files to VMS here, and I can, build on VMS, and it runs the scripts that I wrote for it in advance. So I wrote build.com, it runs that, and then after that I can run the C debugger and debug it. So that's how you can work. And what you also get is, of course, you can browse your files here conveniently. You can also open them in the Windows Explorer or the whatever you're using on Linux. And you can hook up to Git, for example, and you can commit all of the changes that you just made. And this is not Git on VMS, this is Git on Windows. So this is linked to my Bitbucket, and I can just check in whatever I've changed here. Okay, let's see. Okay, and I can do some commit message. Very non-specific, commit and push, and then it appears on my Bitbucket. I just need to load probably. Yeah, I think I put it in here. I mean, whatever you're using, GitHub, Bitbucket, you can see all of your commits. I mean, obviously. Okay, so this is how it would work. And it's also convenient that you can, for example, search through all of your files. So any occurrences of anything in all of your files in the project. So if I'm looking for the word debug, for example, it's only build.com. But, you know, I could look for something that would be present in the C files, you know, any variable or anything like that. So that is quite convenient. Oh yeah, and another thing, if you make some changes, you can also view what changes have been made. So if I add a little line here, to make it more specific, right, something like this, then it picks it up and you can see the changes that you've made, and you can also review the previous commits, previous changes that you've made. So you get, basically you get all of the features of an IDE, but you get to work with OpenVMS here, right? Yeah, search, syntax, highlighting, everything. Okay, and the way this works is basically you just install the VMS IDE application on Windows, on Linux, wherever, and then you go to extensions and you search for VMS IDE and you install that. And on our website, on our YouTube channel, you have several videos that explain you how to set it up. And you have the wiki pages also with instructions on how to set this up. It's fairly easy. I did it from scratch this morning. Took me maybe 15 minutes to set it up. And it's all the configuration is basically stored in, a couple of configuration files. If you want to debug, it's a third configuration file, but it's all fairly easy. We provide templates, and you can set this up. All right. I think that's all I wanted to show. We have DCL. What I really wanted was the questions. So questions.
So the IDE is developed by VSI.
So the Visual Studio Code IDE itself is developed by someone else. The extension is developed by VSI. That is correct. Yes.
So the language support is, how's that kept up to date?
Yes. So at the moment, when you say language support, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I can program in C and one can program in BASIC.
Yes, you can program in anything. So as far as just uploading files is concerned, you can program in anything. What VMS IDE does is it just uploads files to VMS. So it does not care. If you care about syntax highlighting, okay, so we do not provide any syntax highlighting on our own, but Visual Studio Code provides syntax highlighting for a number of languages.
So customized.
I believe it is, yes.
Yes.
From my experience, I think the only language where I did not get syntax highlighting was MMS, I think. So whatever I wrote in MMS was kind of plain, but it's still convenient because you can search it. But yeah, it is customizable, and there are plenty of extensions that give you syntax highlighting for Pascal, COBOL. Yeah. I'm sorry, I think
yes, I have a problem. So it means that, or a question. Sorry. So the Git is on my workstation, right? So I have my repository, and for example, I work on Mac. Mac has a different file system like than VMS. So usually when you are uploading things, files to a VMS, you usually have problems. So how it is solved? How it is ensured that the VMS will get the right file format. Then, because if I edit a file on Unix, so the carriage returns, line feeds, and these kind of things are changing. The same in Windows and Mac as well. So there are three different standards that they have, and then when I check out, the Git is smart enough that it will convert to my format. But when I use the AID from my system, so when you upload, how it is ensured that it will be on a format that VMS.
I believe it converts, but I'll have to take this question to the IDE developers because I do not know exactly what they wrote. I have never had any problems. I run this on Windows, run this on Linux. Tried it on Mac, it works. Okay, so they did something.
Okay, it is solved.
It is solved.
Good.
Yeah, so far haven't run into any problems.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, there was a side comment. Yeah, sure.
One thing we've done is we've largely migrated sources to stream. Solves some of these issues.
Great. Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Do we have syntax highlighting for bliss and macro?
Yes. I'm not sure.
We do.
How did you get
We do?
this year? How did you get
For DCL, there is another extension that someone wrote. It wasn't us. and it is called Digital Command Language. Wait, is it? Yeah, OpenVMS _DCL. Not only does this do syntax highlighting, it also, I showed you a few neat features. VSC calls it snippets. So yeah, I use it. It's pretty neat. I like it. Just install it like you would VMS IDE, and it works. I'm sorry, formatting, indentation. No, what it can do though is it gives you like preset like if then statements, and those are tabbed. Yeah.
Like the suggestions as you type.
Yeah. So you can. Oh, sorry, not this one. There are suggestions also, but yeah, what I wanted to show was this. So it gives you this.
What if you want to do indent?
Indent?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I see the lines there, so.
I mean, it just works in Visual Studio Code, like you.
Yeah, but it looks like the lines between them and anything else are already indented.
Yeah, this is already indented. Yeah. This is indented. Okay, yeah.
To which extent does it allow debugging? Compared, for example, I don't know, to Visual Studio Standard, line by line, stepping into subroutines or functions, stepping in, stepping out. What possibilities does it offer?
Right. I think that depends on the language, and I've only.
Fortran.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I haven't really tried C debugging in C, so someone else would probably tell you more about this. In Python, it does all of that. So it steps, goes into functions.
So technically it can.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it does do that. Yes.
This is a very interesting question. So how it interacts with the debugger on a VMS side?
Well,
Does it reuse the VMS debugger's output and it gets all the stepping?
pretty much, yeah. So I believe it SSHs to your VMS system using your credentials that you provided or the key files, and it just runs the debugger there, grabs the output, brings it to VMS IDE. Yes.
I looked at this about 2-3 years ago. It's a while since I looked at it. And I'd never used Visual Code Studio before. And I got so frustrated that I couldn't get what I wanted to be done. I went back to TPU and files like that. I have used Visual Studio now for Slims, but I just got a bit of feedback for you. If you don't know Visual Studio, some of the guidance and videos I found has made that assumption you knew stuff. Yes. So
Okay.
I found it very difficult to manipulate and work because I didn't understand the underlying technology that it's based on.
I see.
And I now actually have used Visual Studio a bit more, and I keep needing to go back and start looking to see whether actually it will now easier. But some documentation, you should look at it from a VMS point of view, not
Yeah, VMS IDE for VMS users. We'll try to do that. Thank you.
I like that.
Noted.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna end up having to recruit an authoring staff. Because there was Linux for DCL use or Linux for VMS users, and now you want to do it the other way, VMS for Linux users.
Yes.
Exactly.
We do have those.
You mentioned that you can authenticate to VMS via keys.
Yeah, you can.
Or your
password.
Credentials.
Yes.
I tried it a couple of years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, though. It didn't offer anything but keys way. And that's where I failed. I couldn't make it.
It's interesting.
But it would be interesting. Maybe they updated it.
Maybe they did. I'm not familiar with older versions of VMS IDE. And maybe that was on the Visual Studio Code side. Yes, but today you can definitely use passwords if you want, and you don't have to hard code your passwords. It can prompt you for a password if you like, and then it'll remember it for a certain period of time. So you can also do that. Yeah, that works. Okay. More questions? Okay, great. And then we have, sorry.
I can, if there are no questions, so maybe I can ask a specific one. So if I start the project from zero,
Mhm.
so do I need to upload anything, or I just create my test.c on my Mac,
Mhm.
and then I said, okay, do the compile it. So I don't need to push anything. I don't everything, the whole my project, even if it is a complicated, huge project, it will be just uploaded.
Yes.
Or just those files that I have edited, so I need to maintain a copy on a VMS file.
Right. So when you just start the project, and imagine you want to upload like an entire existing project to VMS, right? So you have it on your Mac side, right? It has directories, subdirectories, and all. Okay, you open it in Visual Studio Code, you hook it up to a VMS system, provide credentials to a VMS system, make sure that the directory that you specified in the configuration file exists on VMS, you have the rights, all that stuff, right? And then you just click full upload. There are several options for upload. There is an option where you upload a zip file. So that's probably the best because it's faster for big projects, right? So you just upload the zip file, it uploads the zip file, unzips the zip file. You have all of the files on your VMS system. And at that point, you can make some changes on the Mac side, and then you just do a partial upload or a quick upload, and then it just grabs the changes and it brings them to VMS. In terms of building the project, of course, you need to write your build files. So if you need to compile and link it, stick it in a build.com, and then write the build configuration. Wait, so this is the debug. Let me see the build configuration. Okay, somewhere in the configuration files, there is a build configuration which actually tells it to run the build.com. Okay. And then this is where you can press build on VMS, and it just grabs your build.com, runs it on VMS, and so the project is built, and then at that point you can debug it and whatever. Does that answer your question?
Yes. So it means if my build.com, I can put my own MMS for parameters.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You can use your proprietary.
Yeah, and you can just have the MMS files there as well, and just run your MMS from build.com, and yeah.
Thank you.
Changes. Yes.
Just
Okay.
you mentioned MMS, I had a flashback from 40 I didn't use it a lot, but if you talk a little bit about maybe just the last question, I don't know, about the deck set type products, like are they still planning to be updated and things like that?
Not only planning, we are updating them.
Oh, okay.
We just released all of I think all of the deck set products at this point. Not all of yet.
Oh,
Not yet. Okay.
Okay, oh, that's good.
So yeah, and we are using MMS internally a lot too. So
Use CMS and MMS, like test manager, we've been doing that for.
yeah, DTM too. Yeah.
Way back.
Well, that yes.
Does this integrate with CMS at all?
Integrate with CMS? No. But I mean, if you're using CMS on, yeah, I mean, no, it doesn't. So you just have to, in this case, you just go to VMS and you basically run CMS and do whatever you need to do there. But then you can go back to the editor and just change your files there, if that's what you want to do. But no, the answer is no. Any more questions? There is a terminal, but it does not have so it does not give you a DCL prompt at this point. Right. So there have been requests for a web UI demo as well. So we put something together just today, and Igor can present it. So I'll just stop sharing now.
That's what plugin.
No. You just connect to the meeting and share the screen. Can you go to Teams?
Yep. Which?
You just go to activity.
Let's see.
Activity.
This
And just join this meeting. Okay. And make sure to turn it off, the camera and the microphone.
one. Probably I need charger.
Right. What do you need?
Charger.
Oh, charger. Yeah, I'll get you one. Just keep connecting.
You can pull the charger right the other laptop.
Oh, there. Oh, there is a charger. I missed it. Thank you. It's a little weird.
Mhm.
It's the app, right? It's not the web.
It's the application, right?
Just reload it, maybe.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah. Teams troubles. Sorry.
It wasn't ready for the Teams.
It was not yet.
Can I just plug my HDMI to? Okay. So probably it won't be recorded.
We'll make a video.
What?
The other.
Ah, yeah. Thank you. Oh, there's a button. So it should be duplicate, right?
Might need to use the FN to activate it, the function, and
Oh, now it works. Yeah. Great. Yeah. So, yeah, there were some people who asked for demo, and they were disappointed that they know this application and other people don't, and they think that it's beautiful and useful. So yeah, and we decided to show a quick demo.
The developers are very modest.
Yeah, they are actually. So yeah, a couple of words about me. My name is Igor, and probably I'm the only developer, web developer, who works for OpenVMS in the world.
No. No, we have two.
Okay,
You mean
yeah,
only in the only world.
I think so. Yeah, because I don't know other people who do web development stuff for OpenVMS.
They're modest, like I said.
That shows the demand, right? So.
We have a bunch, so you're not alone.
Okay, yeah, I want to meet them. So and because I feel lonely. So yeah, that's Web UI. It's an application that works on your in your browser, and it connects to your machine via web server, and there's really a lot of stuff you can do with this, and to manage your system, to monitor your system, and actually, yeah, that's demo, and I need to show you something in action. What you can see here, it's the main screen of the application, and you see a couple of graphics here that shows CPU and memory usage for the machine. Now, currently, it's running on my virtual machine, and it's the only machine I have. And but if there were nodes, we could see different nodes and switch between them to monitor. So yeah, the most famous feature of this application is changing passwords for users, because passwords, they get expired, and managers, they have to do this manually if they don't use web UI, but if they do, they do it very quickly and easily. So for example, we have this guy Robin, and actually we have a lot of information about this guy, and from the manager perspective of view, we can set up a lot of settings for this user, and privileges as well. So yeah, you can see it. But for now, his password is expired and he can't get to the system. So what we can do is to change his password. The safest password in the world, which is QWERTY 123. Yes, and password is successfully changed. So getting to less famous features.
So,
Sorry? Okay.
So the using plugin required to change the default password. So this is not a password to provide that.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
so, but I noticed there was a tick box that said password expired.
Yes, you can check it.
Yeah, so should the default be that it should be ticked? Yeah, so maybe when that box comes up, the default should be, otherwise,
It's a good idea. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it says the flag, yeah.
It is expired. Well, it says a new temporary password. That's actually. Okay.
Yes.
There's one thing, a question.
Yes.
So
No, I said password expired.
if you put the enhanced password application on VMS to allow for different sorts of characters and restrictions,
Yes.
is that reflected at all by this package?
Should be.
Actually, password that is typed here, it works on OpenVMS, so there are no any restrictions, if I understand it correctly.
So
It's like going into SysUAF directly.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
going to authorize. It doesn't look at any of the password rules, any of the password lengths, doesn't look at the password dictionary.
I could.
Just every say, under on the time, that double quotes and.
Yeah.
It's actually,
Is you can effectively by using mixed password, you can remove most of the character restrictions.
Correct.
But you're using a DCL command line, you still got DCL character restrictions, so you can't have it say double quote in a password because it breaks DCL.
Yeah, actually, this application handles many of these things, and if we try, I hope, if we try to set some invalid password, which is QWERTY and this, it will say us that the password is not correct. Yes, it's not correct. So it handles these situations.
Just a suggestion, a lot of the management things today, when you do a Boolean, they change something. There's a little button on the site that says show password, or because sometimes people have keyboard issues and things like that.
Yeah.
Change the password, and gives you the ability to show the password or not by your typing.
But you can't do that.
You cannot do secret password.
You can't derive the text password from the hash.
No, I think, no, it's,
Why are you typing?
yeah, while you're typing, it's either stars or dots, or
Yes.
you see plain text on the screen, so I think that's.
Yeah, yeah.
But it did show it, so it's already.
Yeah,
Yeah, but might be, what we're saying is might be default, it only just shows stars or dots.
yes, yeah,
This little eye icon on the right side.
Yeah.
Types of people.
Yeah.
The other useful, interesting thing might also be to use generate password to give you some generated password options along the side of you typing in. So you can choose a generator rather than have to type something in and note it down.
Yeah. Actually, what is magical about this application, if anybody sees it, they instantly come up with 1,000 ideas how to improve it.
That's ideas.
Because people are hungry for web access.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it smart enough to,
All our customers are behind the wall. They're disconnected.
is it smart enough to look at the password characteristics flag for the mixed case and the include all the funny characters and do that as well? There's a UAF flag that says mixed case, and there's a UAF flag that says I want the option of all funny characters as well. And I was wondering if I was smart
Well,
enough
it goes with
that.
the default. So actually, yeah, a simple string, and if it's if VMS thinks that this password is this string is not correct, it just returns you the error. So yeah.
But yes, that's a generated DCL now, will give you, especially if your next steps, will give you very long and very complicated choices.
Actually, there's a workaround to that. And that is you can be on another VMS system and say set password /gen and just cut and paste.
I go to grc.com and take Steve.
Oh, I like that too.
Yes.
Just a suggestion, the lower left corner, that little double arrows will put the text up so people can see all what those icons are. If you just expand it.
Yeah, so you can expand it and see that because yeah, icons are not always explanatory. Yeah, we'll get to it. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna go through it. Okay.
I'm not sure that I have any printers connected to my laptop, but yeah, we have a list of processes running on machine, and yeah, any information about them.
Can you click a process ID?
Yes, we can, and I'm gonna do this. So we select, for example, web UI terminal that I will show later, and see all the information about this process, and it's quite the DOS. And yeah, you can see it. Privileges and any other stuff. So all the information, I think, almost all the information about process, and we can manipulate this process and end it, or we can end it with priority, or even suspend it. So it's quite useful.
Is this hooked into availability manager?
No, it works by itself.
You could choose something to do about the backend, you need a patch server or something.
So backend, yes. It works with web server, which handles HTTP requests, and then it calls OpenVMS library functions that are written in C, and it processes this information in JSON format data, and it returns it back to client. So that's how it works in a really simple example. Yes.
And maybe I've missed this because I'm one of the guys that could fall into Darya's retire tomorrow category. Anything for VMS that says GUI, I usually ignore. This looks nice, and this is probably the first one that I actually consider using. Where is this? I completely missed this. Is this like a published product? Is this a product that's available right now?
Contact account management, they'll tell you all about it. You can get it.
I'll talk to you later when we do lunch.
Yes.
We don't do lunch.
Right now, what we will.
No, but Jim does.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this is the first GUI for VMS that I would actually consider using.
Yes.
But it,
Just clarifying on that technique, so maybe there's a module that does the. Is that like an Apache module, and you have an Apache on the DNS once?
Sorry, what was it?
You said it, but.
Apache web server?
You using
It's,
Apache web server on the DNS box?
Yeah, so it's not Apache web server, it's a web server called CVWeb. And it's a very small embedded web server that works with C and Lua. It's the small interpreted language. Yes.
The agent, he's sort of saying.
Yeah.
So this is actually front-end something.
Yes.
Go back to the regular process type, I think you'll see that.
so it's web server aware, right?
Sorry?
So it's web server aware. It's not that it works with any web server. needs
It
specific
works. Yes, it's a web server that runs on OpenVMS.
one. So
Yes.
Go down to the performance tab for a second, the performance category
Um,
on the box. The last one, right? Yeah, that one.
yeah. So this one is tricky situation.
Okay.
So we have a product that called ProfDat.
Okay.
And as far as I know, we do not support it anymore.
We do support it still, but we do not have plans to update it.
Okay. So to
Add something else here.
yeah, to have some statistics here, you have to have ProfDat installed on your machine.
Have you thought about maybe a way to pull in the raw monitor pages and be able to display them? Because that might be useful. It's like monitor space page, and you get a GUI-ized screen. Maybe you don't have the option of selecting anything, but all of that stuff is already done for you in the utility. If you want to see page statistics, if you want to see SCP statistics.
I just came from Brett and John's SPI, VMS
SPI.
session. I think there's the plugin.
That is what we're gonna use, yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else?
Just
License
This
management.
this stuff is always good. And licenses.
License management. Yes. You have, I'm gonna zoom in. So you have a list of licenses registered on the machine. And yeah, you can see status and termination date and whatever. And you can register a new license, right? You can use input text boxes to input license options, and you can execute a DCL script as well here. So as you do in terminal. Yes.
You can finally make this stuff out of DCL pretty work.
And you can as well import the scriptural file. So it will prompt you to select file. Yeah, as well as we can go to license information and see even license history. I don't know if no, I don't have for this, but yes, disable, upload, unload, delete, everything works with licenses. Install packages, aka PCSI kits. It takes some time to. Okay, something doesn't work here. Okay, I'm
If you haven't installed any.
Yeah, I have installed WebUI,
Yeah, at least.
which is a package. So yeah, probably something on my machine is not installed correctly. So
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry for this. Right identifiers. So we can.
It takes a while to load, maybe.
Yeah, probably. You're right. Yes. So
That's cool.
we can add a new right identifier and select group and attributes.
I'd use that because the CLI guy in me keeps forgetting the command syntax when I'm adding to those.
So yeah, as well as we can see data for the identifier. So yeah, TCP/IP settings, we can see hosts here and interfaces.
This with some specific.
Yes, so I can log out from it, and I use my usual username and password. So what it does is it takes password and username. It sends the request to web server. Web server authenticates user and returns JSON web token, which is used then to communicate with application on the backend.
So the results returned depend on what rights that user has on VMS, right?
You mean when user logs in? Yes. So if you have rights to use this application, you will get a JSON web token, and if you don't,
No.
so you can.
A little bit different.
Yeah.
If your rights
Everybody can read the user.
allows you to do something, but not everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Yes.
normal users can see disks, for example, but they cannot
Right,
see
right,
users.
that's what.
Yeah. So you have. I think I can show it. You have. User, for example.
If you're not allowed to use authorized, you're not allowed to change.
Yeah. So
A very privileged user.
you can see, yeah, it's me and it's my virtual machine running locally. So I have, yeah, probably I should do this because bad practice. But yeah, we have. You can see here we have identifiers, which is where do I read and where do I write. So you basically by default user have where do I read identifier, so they can see information, but where do I write? It's only for administrators to delete users and stop processes and whatever. Yes.
The reason that's really, really good is because you can give operations staff the ability to do more and that they want to read.
Yeah.
So specific stuff, right? Yep, like they need it for troubleshooting or whatever.
How much space is left on disk?
The other good thing I really like about this, I haven't used it extensively, but I played around with it, is this is exactly the web interface that firewalls use, switches use. They all have their console access, but they also have the ability to use GUI. And like you say, experience admins after a while, you tend to drift towards this, because you get the syntax of all the different devices that they work.
Yes.
Every
That
one
one
of the-
that you're gonna RESTful API built around as well, that's super powerful.
You're talking about
The
a
REST API. Scripts, all this stuff.
yeah. So what you see here is a browser. So it's actually a page and all right. Yeah, you can see that it's browser and it's just a page in your browser. But it uses HTTP requests, and you can do this using anything like Perl and to make this HTTP requests and write your own scenarios to if you don't like using GUIs, but you like how convenient it is, for example, to add a new user, not without logging into OpenVMS.
But to answer your question, yes, you can.
Yeah.
And is it documented also?
REST
Yes.
API, somewhat, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the developers.
Yeah, I saw and yeah.
Does Webway come with a toolkit, so one that's add their own data sets, or is it what you see is what you get?
Basically, what you see here, it's all that WebUI supports. But again, we have REST API that you can use, and you can write your own scripts for this.
Okay, that's what it is.
Yes, and as well as we have some library written in Python. So these scripts already done, some of them, not for all functionality, but for something. Yes, we have a library for this. And yes, we have system alerts as well, and some kind of this actually uses SQL database, which is SQLite, which comes with web server, sealed web. And yes, error log. We don't have any errors. That's good. Yeah, and if you really don't like GUIs, you can still use terminal inside of GUI. So I'm gonna log in. Yeah, so it's just a terminal, and you can do this stuff as well here. Yeah.
Whose terminal emulator is that?
Sorry?
What terminal emulator is that?
It's an external running in the browser. Yes.
Oh.
And it uses WebSockets to send messages between browser and OpenVMS.
Since that's deck term, if you've got your own deck.w defaults file and everything, it'll paint the screen the way you're saying.
I don't know about it. Sorry, I can't answer this question.
Jim, that's not a vector.
No, it's not.
That's a compatible terminal.
Oh, okay.
Like emulator.
Yeah, it's terminal emulator.
You see the batch,
What?
batch settings?
I'm not sure if I have anything here.
Yeah.
Yes, because yeah, I haven't set it up. Yes,
You do the disks. I think people.
Yeah.
disks. Yes. Yeah, it shows disk insert information, and again, there's a lot of information that. Yeah. Yes.
Back to the summary display again for a second.
Where?
The summary display before this.
Summary.
No.
That's the day.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that one. The free column, can you change the way that's displayed, the unit?
Free space, no, you can't.
Okay.
At least.
So
Suggestions?
There's blocks at the top. Can you switch that to bytes?
Yeah. Oh.
You mean this? Yes, you can. Yeah.
That's a good suggestion.
Never mind. I got it.
Can you mount the disk?
No, not from your API.
Yeah, percent option would be good.
Yeah, I think probably I didn't show all this stuff that we support, but we support a lot, and it's more coming. And what I'm working on right now is file explorer, so you can see files and you can even edit them and save them and see directory trees and this stuff. Yes, so
Nice.
it will come in new releases. Yes.
The back end right now is x86 only.
No, it works on integrity as well.
It's
Integrity, yes. Integrity and the x86, yes, yes.
I used it on my, I got an RS 600, that's where I play with, and Alpha. Gosh, I don't know about
Sorry?
Does it do Alpha?
No, it has no alpha support. Yeah.
Business question, when this becomes generally available, I assume it's going to be a separately licensable product? Good, I might have the company that wants to buy it for you.
It's already available. There. And I think the big version of x86, right?
Like I said, the guy
Have we uploaded to service portal, to the base file?
It's not yet available.
Okay,
But we already checking the version in the licensing.
Yep.
And once it's available, it will be added to the ICA, yes, right?
Yes. Related to that, only the BSI versions, or the AP ones also.
Just a suggestion, most vendors out there today, whether it be firewall switches, whatever, you expect that, they will be able to get this without a license. There's a blue Cisco switch. It just, when your router and you're picking up, the firewall and you're picking up. They don't expect to have licenses, so just, nothing to do that.
oh, you can use the terminal,
Oh, yeah.
no additional licensing required.
That's my point. If you go to a Cisco switch or any of the other devices that are out there today, you can go in and log into the console and get everything with DCL, which is Unix type stuff. But they just expect that the GUI will be there from the administration. That's what the industry is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but BSI is gonna make money.
So yeah, that was it. I hope you liked it.